Yeah, I mean, the league takes a fresh look on the sport, but compared to, for example, the German Bundesliga, where I played for many years now, I think in terms of the excitement, it's they do a really great job in the Indian League of making it extremely exciting for the spectators. Of course, there's a few differences. They shortened the sets, 3 sets instead of best of five. Every set counts. It's a mix between women's and men's together, a mixed team with along with mixed doubles. So actually, even before coming here, just following the league online, I found the system quite exciting, and they do a great job of building the atmosphere in the hall with the music, with the presenting, and the final product I think is really great for spectators, and I think that's why the league is it's exciting and players want to be here. I think for everybody, first time playing here, it takes a little bit adapting. Um, there's small changes with the system, especially time between points. Of course, there's a golden point at 10-10. So it's a little bit, took me 1-2 sets to adapt to the Indian league style. But now I feel quite good with it. And it's also part of our job as professional players. We have different circumstances always. So I think it took a little time, but now I'm feel completely adapted heading into match four. I mean, at this point, 25 years old, I'm pretty global. Of course, both my parents are from India. They both migrated to USA, so I definitely feel a strong sense of the Indian heritage, Indian culture. I grew up eating Indian food, surrounded by many family friends also from India. Of course, I grew up in USA though. I moved when I was 15 to Sweden and then eventually to Germany. So I lived in Europe now for many years. So I guess you could say a little bit of everything, but definitely my roots are from India, of course, and America. Yeah, it's not a mainstream sport in the USA, especially compared to sports you mentioned, baseball, basketball, American football, but and then so many other sports that are also more mainstream. But I actually grew up playing soccer. This was my first sport I played. I started when I was 2 years old. So it was quite fortunate how I started. I have an older sister named Prachi. She's 3 years older than me, and she started to play this sport with my parents in a local community center. And the community center had many different kind of like hobbies you could consider: table tennis, stuff like dancing, air hockey, billiards, and all kinds of things. So, of course, I was 5 years old at the time. Parents couldn't leave me at home. So I would go there and I watched them play. And I got bored very fast of watching. So I, of course, picked up a racket. And I think, like many younger siblings, you're heavily influenced by your older sibling. And so I kind of followed a bit in her footsteps in the very beginning. And that's how I started the sport. Yeah, it was a kind of a shock when I qualified. So 20 for the 2016 Olympic Games, I actually moved. I left my family at 15 years old and I moved to Sweden. So it was a big step for me in my life. It was the first time, of course, living away. I think most kids they generally stay with their parents till about 18 years old, or perhaps they move to university. So I moved at a young age. I was quite fortunate. Also, my parents have supported me heavily from the beginning, and they also allowed me to move. They knew it was I love table tennis, and this was a dream of mine. So it was a big change in my life, but I think also that played a huge role in me qualifying at such a young age to the Olympics. It was a bit of a shock at the time. I wasn't expected to qualify, and I actually qualified by the last spot. So heading into Rio, it was just an amazing experience for myself. I was so young at the time, so I just kind of soaked everything in. I lost quite early there, but I think the experience there made a huge difference in my career. And it actually, I think, played a role in myself winning a bronze medal at the 2018 Youth Olympic Games. So I had kind of an Olympic experience under my belt, while other people, other juniors and around the world, was playing their first kind of Olympic experience. When I was a kid in the U.S., it's the main focus. What takes the most of your day is school. I'd go from school from around 8 in the morning, so I wake up around 7 till 3 in the afternoon, and my parents would take me directly from school where I go to practice table tennis with private lessons with my coach, and there I'd probably train 1 to 2 hours. Then we'd head back after dinner, homework, and then kind of restart the whole thing the next day. So when I had the chance first to move to Sweden, it was like a dream come true just in my mind, because I was like, wow, I can play this sport every day now. all day. I'm playing with other professional players, and I just saw it like a dream come true for me. But when I moved to Sweden at 15, it was a bit of a shock. Like I said, it's my first time living abroad away from home, and I realized there's more to life than just on the table. I lived in terms of kind of doing things on your own. You have no parents with you, food, even small things, laundry wise, taking care of your apartment, sorting out a little bit what's in your life. So in the beginning, it was a bit tough. I did miss home quite a lot that first year. But my love for the sport was so great. So that always made the decision easy for me in the end. I went through a phase where 17 months I didn't play the sport actually. It was a long period for me in 2022 and 2023. And this also gave me a lot of time to develop more as a person and also spend a lot of time with people outside the sport and spend more time with myself and doing things that's not on the table. So that also played a big role in myself for myself. And I think there's always trying to find a balance between not being too much in the sport, but at the same time it is our job. So it is tough. Heading into my break from the sport, my suspension, I was actually in an all-time high playing wise. I just hit into the top 20 in the world. I was playing exceptionally well. Did even 12 months leading up to the break. So in the beginning, it was very tough because it went from everything going my way. I was feeling also quite good where I was at in my life, and it was all taken away in an instant. So in the beginning, it was quite tough. Table tennis was everything for me, and I think actually the first three months I didn't touch the racket. It was I wanted to just be away from the sport. I didn't know at the time in the beginning even what I wanted to do. It was crazy for me. It was such a long break, 17 months, and it feels very long in the beginning. So I spent a lot of time home with my family at this time. I didn't follow the sport at all. First time for me as well. But I think human beings in general, we adapt quite fast. So I actually ended up enjoying the time off. I think our lives are so busy, table tennis athletes. We're constantly traveling, constantly competing. So got to spend more time at home with my friends and family. Got to spend more time working on myself outside the table. So I do think in the end, it was a positive in many ways. And that's also why I came back so well as I did. Yeah, so I mean, in USA, it's pretty much impossible to be a professional table tennis player. To earn a respectable living, you have to move abroad, and even then, table tennis compared to many other sports, it is financially lower, especially compared to the mainstream sports. I think perhaps when I go to Olympics, it did open my eyes a bit that we are still a very global sport, table tennis, and perhaps we do have more chances to earn a good living compared to some of the other Olympic sports I've seen. But it was tough. The break was also tough in a way. Financially, I went 17 months without a paycheck. But table tennis, I think, like many other sports, it's a very top-heavy sport. We have so many athletes playing. I mean, it's completely ridiculous at this point. When you see even the Paris Games, we have players from every part of the world. I mean, from Moldova to Kazakhstan to South America. So the competition is extremely high, but table tennis is top-heavy, and if you can reach the top, that's where generally the money is more there for the players.